Welcome to the course Electricity and Magnetism for FYBSc Physics Paper 2 Semester 2 as per the revised syllabus of Savitribai Phule Pune University CBCS 2019 pattern. So we are studying our third chapter, magnetism. In the today's lecture we will study the introduction to magnetism, magnetic materials, types of magnetic materials such as diamagnetic materials, paramagnetic materials, ferromagnetic materials and antiferromagnetic materials. We will also study the Bohr magnetron. We know that people have been aware of magnets and magnetism of thousands of years. There is a place located in Turkey called as Magnesia, where magnetic rocks are found. These magnetic rocks stimulated a lot of interest during ancient times. However, the first known practical application for magnets is their use in navigational compasses. Due to their use in compasses, the names of north and south are given to the two magnetic poles. Because these poles, they are pointing towards the north and south directions of the earth. So today magnetism plays many important roles in our lives. We use magnets for various applications. Our understanding of magnetism has enabled the development of technologies that affect our everyday life. So what is magnetism? So magnetism is a phenomenon by which a material exerts either attractive or repulsive forces on one another. Basic source of magnetic force is movement of electrically charged particles. Thus, magnetic behavior of a material can be traced to the structure of atoms. Electrons in an atom have a planetary motion in that they go around the nucleus. This orbital motion and its own spin cause separate magnetic moments which contribute to the magnetic behavior of the materials. Thus, every atom has intrinsic magnetic moments due to its electron motion. These magnetic moments can interact with the external magnetic field and thus every material can respond to a magnetic field. Any material that can be magnetized by an applied external magnetic field is called as magnetic material. So magnetic materials can be easily magnetized because they have permanent or induced magnetic moments in the presence of applied magnetic field. Magnetism arises from the magnetic moments or magnetic dipoles of the magnetic materials. Among the different 11 types of magnetic materials, only 4 magnetic materials are the most important for the practical application. These are diamagnetic materials, paramagnetic materials, ferromagnetic materials and antiferromagnetic materials. Diamagnetic materials are feebly repelled by strong magnetic field, while paramagnetic materials are feebly attracted by a strong magnet. However, a ferromagnetic material are strongly attracted by a magnet. The antiferromagnetic materials are strongly repelled by the magnet. A material is magnetically characterized based on the way it can be magnetized. This depends upon the material's magnetic susceptibility, its magnitude and sign. So the diamagnetism is very weak and exists only in the presence of external magnetic field. Whereas paramagnetism is slightly stronger than the diamagnetism. When an external field is applied, dipoles line up with the field, resulting in a positive magnetization. However, the dipoles do not interact. Ferromagnetism, however, is very strong and the dipoles line up permanently upon application of external field and has two subclasses: antiferromagnetism, where dipoles line up but in opposite directions and resulting in zero magnetization, and in ferrimagnetism, similar to antiferromagnetism but dipoles of varying strength cannot cancel each other out, and therefore there is some magnetization remain. So let us study the diamagnetic materials. The materials which are weakly repelled by magnet are called as diamagnetic materials. Diamagnetism is exhibited by all the materials. The atoms in the diamagnetic material do not possess permanent magnetic moments. However, when a material is placed in a magnetic field, the electrons in the atomic orbits tends to counteract the external magnetic field and the atoms acquire an induced magnetic moment. As a result, the material becomes magnetized. The direction of induced dipole moment, as a result, the material becomes magnetized. The direction of induced dipole moment is opposite to that of the external applied magnetic field. Due to this effect, the material gets very weakly repelled in the magnetic field. This phenomenon is known as diamagnetism. Examples of diamagnetic materials are quartz, calcite, water, germanium, silicon, bismuth, barium, copper and gold, etc. In the absence of external magnetic field, there are no dipole moments present in the diamagnetic materials. When an external magnetic field H is applied in the direction as shown in figure, the atoms acquire an induced magnetic moment in the opposite direction to that of the field. The strength of the induced magnetic moment is proportional to the applied field, and hence magnetization of the magnetic material varies directly with the strength of the magnetic field. The induced dipoles and magnetization vanish as soon as the applied field is removed. Let us study the properties of diamagnetic materials. Diamagnetic materials are weakly repelled by magnet. So when a diamagnetic material is placed in the external magnetic field, they are repelled by the magnet. So this is the property, one of the property of diamagnetic materials. They are weakly repelled by magnet. Diamagnetic materials, they also repel the lines of force, right? So we know the magnetic lines of force, they start from the positive pole and they end on a negative pole. So the magnetic lines of force, they will be repelled by the diamagnetic material, right? So when a piece of diamagnetic material is placed in a lines of force, then the lines of force will be repelled by this magnetic piece, right? So this is one of the property of diamagnetic materials. Another property of diamagnetic materials is that when diamagnetic substances, when subjected to non-uniform magnetic field, they move from stronger to the weaker part of the field, right? So let us say this is the piece of diamagnetic material and we apply the non-uniform magnetic field. When the non-uniform magnetic field is applied, the diamagnetic materials, they move from the stronger field to the weaker part of the magnetic field. Another property of diamagnetic materials is that if a thin rod of diamagnetic material is placed in a uniform magnetic field, it comes to rest with its length perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field. So let us say this is the diamagnetic rod. When it is placed in a magnetic field, so it will align perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field. Another property of diamagnetic material or diamagnetic liquids is that when a diamagnetic liquid is filled in a U-shaped tube and one arm of the tube is subjected to the magnetic field, the level of liquid in that arm decreases, right? The level of liquid in that arm will decrease and the level of liquid in another arm will increase. So this is the property of diamagnetic material. So these materials, they are having no permanent dipole moments or magnetic moments, right? And therefore the magnetic effects are very small. The external magnetic field produces induced magnetic moments. So this induced magnetic moment is always in opposite direction of the applied magnetic field. So magnetic induction in the specimen will decrease. So the magnetic susceptibility of diamagnetic materials is very small and negative. These are the some of the properties of diamagnetic materials. The diamagnetic susceptibility is independent of temperature and applied magnetic field strength. Diamagnetic materials like water or water-based materials have magnetic permeability that is less than or equal to 1, but it is positive, whereas the relative permeability is less than 1. Examples of diamagnetic materials are bismuth, zinc, gold, water, alkali earth elements like beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium. Superconducting elements in superconducting state are also diamagnetic materials. Let us now move to the next materials, that is paramagnetic materials. The materials which are weakly attracted by a magnet are called as paramagnetic materials. In these materials, each atom or molecule possesses a net permanent magnetic moment. This permanent magnetic moment is due to the orbital and spin magnetic moment of the electron in the atom, and even in the absence of the external magnetic field, these magnetic moments are present in the paramagnetic materials. The magnetic moments are randomly oriented in the absence of external magnetic field, and therefore the net magnetic moment is 0, and hence the magnetization of the material is 0 in the absence of external magnetic field. But when an external magnetic field is applied, the magnetic dipoles tend to align in the direction of the magnetic field and the materials become magnetized. So this effect is known as paramagnetism. However, the thermal agitation disturbs the alignment of magnetic moments with the increase in the temperature, and therefore the increase in thermal agitation tend to randomize the dipole's direction and thus leading to a decrease in magnetization of these materials. So this indicates that paramagnetic susceptibility decreases with increase in temperature. When the external magnetic field is removed, the paramagnetic dipole moments, they will be randomly oriented. It is noted that the paramagnetic susceptibility varies inversely with temperature, and it is given by chi is proportional to 1 over T, that is chi is equal to C by T. This is known as Curie law of paramagnetism, and C is a constant called as Curie constant. The susceptibility is small and has positive value. Examples of paramagnetic materials are manganese sulfate, ferric oxide, ferrous sulfate, nickel sulfate, aluminum, oxygen, titanium and iron oxide, etc. Let us study the properties of paramagnetic materials. So paramagnetic materials are weakly attracted by magnet. When a piece of paramagnetic material is placed in a magnetic field, it will be attracted towards the magnet. So they are weakly attracted by the magnet. Paramagnetic materials allow the lines of force pass through them. When the paramagnetic materials are placed in the external magnetic field, the magnetic lines of force, they will pass through the paramagnetic material, right? So let us say this is some magnetic field and the lines of force can pass through the paramagnetic materials, and therefore the paramagnetic material allows the lines of force to pass through them. These substances, when subjected to the non-uniform magnetic field, experience an attractive force towards the stronger part of the field. When we place a piece of paramagnetic material in a non-uniform magnetic field, the piece will be attracted towards the stronger part of the field, right? So this is one of the property of paramagnetic materials. If a thin rod of paramagnetic material is placed in a uniform magnetic field, it comes to rest with its length parallel to the direction of magnetic field. Another property of paramagnetic materials is that when a paramagnetic liquid is filled in a U-shaped tube and one arm of the tube is subjected to the magnetic field, the level of liquid in that arm increases and the level of liquid in another arm will decreases. The susceptibility of paramagnetic materials does not change with age for a given temperature, and the susceptibility varies inversely as the absolute temperature. Its value is positive and decrease with increase in the temperature, and at higher temperature its value becomes negative and the substance become diamagnetic. The permeability mu of a paramagnetic substance is slightly greater than 1. Spin alignment of the paramagnetic material, they are randomly oriented. One of the application of paramagnetic property is that the paramagnetic property of oxygen is used in NMR, that is nuclear magnetic resonance technique, for medical diagnostics. Examples of paramagnetic materials are alkali metals like lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, transition metals, aluminum, platinum, manganese, chromium, etc. All these materials, they show paramagnetism. Let us move to another type of materials, that is ferromagnetic materials. The materials which are strongly attracted by magnet are called as ferromagnetic materials. Certain materials like iron, cobalt, nickel and certain alloys exhibit high degree of magnetization. These materials show spontaneous magnetization, that is, they have small amount of magnetization even in the absence of external magnetic field. This indicates that there is a strong internal field within the material which makes atomic magnetic moments interact with each other. This phenomenon is known as ferromagnetism. So these ferromagnetic materials, they have permanent dipole moments, and the ferromagnetic materials are strongly attracted by the magnetic field. All the dipoles are aligned parallel to each other due to the magnetic interaction between the two dipoles. The ferromagnetic materials exhibit magnetization even in the absence of magnetic field. This property of ferromagnetic materials is called as spontaneous magnetization. On heating, they lose their magnetization slowly. The magnetic dipole moments in some region called as domains, they are oriented in a particular direction. So in ferromagnetic materials, there are different domains, and these domains, they are separated by very weak domain walls. Since each domain has net magnetic moment, however, all the domains, they are randomly oriented, and therefore the net magnetic moment of the ferromagnetic material is 0. When external magnetic field is applied to the ferromagnetic material, all the domains, they align in the direction of the applied field and the material becomes magnetized. When the external magnetic field is removed, the material retains the magnetic moments in the particular direction. So the ferromagnetic materials tend to form magnetic domains, and each domain is magnetized in a different direction. So domain structure minimizes the energy due to the stray fields in the ferromagnetic materials. When the external magnetic field is applied, applying the field in a particular direction changes the domain structure, and domains with magnetization in the direction of the applied field, they will grow, whereas the domains in the direction different than that of the applied magnetic field, they will shrink. For ferromagnetic materials, magnetic susceptibility chi is positive and greater than 1. The susceptibility is very high and depends on the temperature, and it is given by chi is equal to C upon T minus Tc, where Tc is called as Curie temperature. So below the Curie temperature, the material shows ferromagnetic behavior, and above the Curie temperature, the material shows the paramagnetic behavior. So C is Curie constant and Tc is called as paramagnetic Curie temperature. As the temperature increases, the value of chi is also decreases, and above a certain temperature the ferromagnetic material becomes ordinary paramagnetic material, and this temperature is called as Curie temperature. When this T becomes Tc, right, the material becomes paramagnetic. Susceptibility increases for moderate value of H, and for larger value of H it decreases with increasing H. The susceptibility is given by chi is equal to 1 over H. Ferromagnetic materials show hysteresis curve. The hysteresis curve shows the relationship between the magnetic induction B and magnetic intensity H. Hysteresis curves occur in a system that involves a magnetic field. Hysteresis is a common property of ferromagnetic substances. Generally, when a magnetization of ferromagnetic material lags behind the magnetic field, this effect can be seen. When the magnetization of ferromagnetic materials lags behind the magnetic field, this effect can be described as a hysteresis effect. The meaning of hysteresis is lagging or lagging behind. Hysteresis is characterized as a lag of magnetic induction, that is magnetic flux density B behind the magnetic field strength or intensity H. The hysteresis loop shows the relationship between the magnetic flux density B on the y-axis and the magnetic field strength H on the x-axis. The ferromagnetic materials possesses net magnetic moments. They also possesses spontaneous magnetization due to the net magnetic moments, and the material shows magnetic properties even in the absence of external magnetic field. The spontaneous magnetization is present in this material because of the interaction between dipoles called as exchange coupling, and when the ferromagnetic material they are placed in external magnetic field, they strongly attract the magnetic lines of force. All spins are aligned in parallel and they are in the same direction. The susceptibility of ferromagnetic materials is large and positive. It is given by chi is equal to C upon T minus Tc, where C is Curie constant and Tc is Curie temperature. When temperature is greater than Curie temperature, then the material gets converted into paramagnetic material. They possess the property of hysteresis. Materials they get divided into different regions called as domains. Examples of ferromagnetic materials are iron, cobalt, nickel and gadolinium, etc. Let us now move to the another type of materials, that is antiferromagnetic materials. In antiferromagnetic materials, the magnetic moments are aligned in opposite directions and are equal in magnitude. The antiferromagnetic materials, the magnetic moments of atoms or molecules usually related to the spins of electrons align in a regular pattern with neighboring spins pointing in opposite directions, and therefore antiferromagnetic materials spontaneously align their magnetic moments antiparallel when a magnetic field is applied. The magnetization of an antiferromagnet remains constant below that critical temperature, and the materials retain this antiparallel alignment when the external field is removed. The magnetic moments come from the spins of the atomic valence electrons, right? In the absence of external magnetic field, the magnetic moments of each atom are randomly oriented. When an external magnetic field is applied to the material, the magnetic moments of the atoms respond to the external magnetic field and they align antiparallel to the each neighboring moment, right? Thus, when antiferromagnetic material is magnetized, its net magnetization is 0 because magnetic moments of the neighboring atoms exactly cancel when they are vectorically added. The material retains its antiparallel arrangement when external magnetic field is removed. In the presence of strong magnetic field, antiferromagnetic materials are weakly magnetized in the direction of applied field. This property of materials is called as antiferromagnetism, and the materials which exhibit this property are called as antiferromagnetic materials or antiferromagnet. Generally, antiferromagnetic order may exist at sufficiently low temperatures but vanishes at above the Néel temperature, named after Louis Néel, who had first identified this type of magnetic ordering. The Néel temperature is named for Louis Néel, French physicist, who in 1936 gave one of the first explanation of antiferromagnetism. Above the Néel temperature, the materials become paramagnetic. Examples of antiferromagnetic substances are MnO, COO, that is manganese oxide, cobalt oxide, nickel oxide, chromium and manganese, etc. The antiferromagnetism was first observed in MnO, in which adjacent ions, that means the Mn2 plus ions, behave as tiny magnets, and they are spontaneously align themselves at relatively low temperature into opposite or anti-parallel arrangements throughout the material, so that it exhibits almost no gross external magnetic field. So Néel temperature for manganese oxide is 122 Kelvin, that is minus 151 degrees Celsius or minus 240 degree Fahrenheit. Antiferromagnetic materials exhibit a small positive susceptibility of the order of 10⁻³ to 10⁻⁵. Let us study the properties of antiferromagnetic materials. The electron spins in neighboring atoms are aligned antiparallel, that is, the spin alignment is antiparallel, and because of this the net magnetic moment is 0. The susceptibility is small and positive. Antiferromagnetic susceptibility is mainly depend on temperature. In antiferromagnetic materials, the susceptibility increases with increase in temperature, and it reaches a maximum at a certain temperature called as Néel temperature Tn. So the susceptibility is given by chi is equal to C upon T plus Tm. The susceptibility initially increases slightly with the temperature, and beyond Néel temperature the susceptibility decreases with temperature. Thus at Néel temperature the susceptibility is maximum, and below the Néel temperature the material is antiferromagnetic. With further increase in temperature the material reaches the paramagnetic state. For T less than Tn, the antiferromagnetic behavior will be seen, and for T greater than TL, paramagnetic behavior can be seen. The Néel temperature, at the Néel temperature the susceptibility is maximum. Examples of antiferromagnetic materials are FeO, MnO, Cr2O. So in summary, we have studied the magnetic materials, we have studied the diamagnetic materials, paramagnetic materials, ferromagnetic materials and antiferromagnetic materials and their various properties. Thank you.